and for our mindfulness meditation together, where you use the power of your mind. You use your awareness and your power of choice to fill your mind with a specific and chosen stream of thought, chosen by you. And in this way, you are educating your mind, you are training your mind. It is, after all, your mind. It's yours to train if you wish. There is no law that says we have to train the mind. But as we do, we become happier and healthier, more in control, and more able to follow our wise inner voice. You know that you have a wise inner voice. You listen to it often, I know. Sometimes, I'm sure, you ignore it, and other times you follow its advice. Loving yourself, nurturing yourself, healing yourself, soothing and strengthening yourself are all acts of self-discipline. The word discipline meaning disciplehood, being a disciple of the self, of the higher self, of the wise self, of the wise words, wise thoughts that you have inside your mind right now. These are words and these are faculties of wisdom that you don't have to learn. You have them already. The chances are you were born with them. There's a part of you, part of all of us, that always knows the right thing to do. And we also know when we're doing the wrong thing. Right meaning behaviors and activities that heal, soothe, nurture and strengthen us. Wrong being behaviors, activities, thoughts and emotions that feel heavy and tire the body and weaken the immune system, taking us down the road of reducing our happiness and reducing our health. I'd like to talk specifically this evening about junk food, food that we know is not good for us, yet we desire it greatly. Now, the emotion of desire, because desire is an emotion, like all emotions, is created by your thoughts. All of your emotions are created by your thoughts. So, when you see a delicious piece of food that you know is not good for you, and you feel the desire to eat it, you must be saying to yourself something positive about the food that isn't true, that isn't accurate. Things like, I will enjoy this food is delicious, how tasty it is. Even, I will feel so nice when I'm eating this. Even though there is a voice inside you that believes that is true, there's another voice inside you that knows that that isn't true. And just like any drug, as we allow that junk food into our body, as we place it, as we put it into our bodies, the part of us that is desiring instant gratification becomes satisfied for a very short time. Here's the magic. If you were to engage your wise inner voice and actually listen to it while you are eating the most delicious junk food that you can imagine, that you can think of, I promise you, it would start to taste unpleasant. Now, let me see if I can prove that to you without you even having to eat a piece of food. Your imagination is so powerful and so honest and true. Let me invite you right now to see with your mind's eye, maybe on the screen of your mind, if you wish, your favorite piece of junk food, whatever it might be. Have a good look at it. If it comes in a wrapper, have a good look at the wrapper. Have a look at the colour, the writing on the wrapper. Lift it up and smell it if you can smell it through the wrapper. Hear the crinkle, the sound of the texture of the paper or the plastic that it comes in. If it doesn't come in a wrapper, feel the texture, pick it up and hold it. Smell the fragrance. Now, holding it in your hands, ready to eat, taking in the colour, the shape, the texture, the fragrance, possibly even the sound, as if you were really holding it. Let your awareness go into your wise inner voice, just for a few minutes, 2 minutes at the most. That's long enough. Now, before you take a bite, consult the wise voice inside you. What is it saying about this piece of food? Just have a listen for a moment, and then I'll offer you some questions. Now, what is your wise inner voice, your higher self? What's your wise inner voice saying about the nutrient levels in this food? Is it packed with healthy nutrients, a broad spectrum of healing nutrients that your body needs? Or actually, is it really quite narrow? Just notice, what's your higher self, what's your wise voice say about that? Just notice the answer, that's all. Now, what's your wise inner voice say about how toxic to your body this food is? Especially the sugar or the salt element, or both. What does your wise inner voice tell you about sugar and salt specifically? Your short-term gratification voice will be telling you, yes, delicious, salt is delicious, sugar is gorgeous, let's eat it. That's the voice inside you that you hear when you don't consult your wisdom. Okay, so you've now listened carefully to your wise inner voice telling you about the nutrients in the food, the toxic elements, specifically salt and sugar. Now, what does your wise inner voice tell you that this food will do to your body, specifically your body? Some foods, as you know, have very specific negative effects. in people's bodies. We call these allergies. Some allergies are very clear and very obvious and well known. However, only you know the negative effect inside your physical body of this particular food that you're thinking of and seeing with your mind's eye right now. Yes, your taste buds will possibly enjoy a few moments, possibly minutes of pleasure. Yet your wise inner voice knows that once that food has travelled deep into your body and has entered into every cell, you know the damage that it is causing or will cause. Your wise inner voice knows. Your wise inner voice knows the feeling in your body 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, the day later maybe. Your body knows the after effects. Your wise inner voice knows them only too well. You are now consulting your inner wisdom. You've heard what it has to say, and I'm sure there's been no surprises. I'm sure you've listened to your inner voice before and heard what it has to say. Yet there's another voice giving you a good reason why, even though you know these things, you know how toxic it is, you know how it's going to damage your body, yet you still want to eat it. In those moments, if you still do, listen to the voice, find out which voice it is, and you'll discover that it's the short-term gratification voice, telling you to ignore your wisdom. Just listen. This is just about listening. Now, you can speak to your inner voices. You can tell each inner voice what you want it to say, how you want it to change. You can use your own inner power of speech to dictate, to decide, to assert which voice you follow. Let me invite you in your imagination to follow your wise inner voice, and you choose to throw the food away. Listen to the short-term voice in your mind. What is it saying about the fact that you just flushed a huge piece of cake down the toilet? What's it got to say about that? What sort of emotion is your short-term voice creating for you as it disappears down the toilet? It's only short-term, whatever the feeling is. Choose not to listen to that inner voice, the short-term inner voice, and now choose to listen to the wise voice. What does the wise voice inside you say about flushing that food down the toilet, throwing it away, putting it in the bin? What does your wise voice now say? And finally, what's the feeling inside your body that's now going to occur over time, the next few minutes, the next hour or two, maybe the next day, maybe longer? Now that you've taken the wise choice, now that you've made the wise choice and listened to your inner voice, what are the consequences? What are the positive consequences, the pride, the health, the feeling of health in your body? The feeling of being a disciple of yourself, learning the skill of listening to your own inner voice and following it as it takes you